The Zondo Commission is back after a short break yesterday. The Northwest Premier, Job Mokgoro, has been testifying, and ex-SAA Head of Procurement, Nontsasa Memela, is expected later on. Earlier this year, when Memela appeared, she denied claims of fraud and corruption at the embattled airline. She was accused of sharing private information with bidders. Watching all of that for us is eNCA's Michael Appel, who is coming to report to us what has been coming out of the Northwest Premier Job Mokgoro's testimony. So, Michael, I don't know, my expectations of Job Mokgoro's testimony are not really that high. But we're dealing with a province where a lot happened by way of these allegations of corruption and state capture. But is he necessarily in a position to give any insights? What has he been saying, for example, this morning?
So he's not speaking in his capacity as the Premier of the Northwest.
All right.
This dates back to 2014, 2015, March of 2015 in particular. Now, I didn't know this, but Job Mokgoro, Professor Mokgoro, was acting DG in the Northwest Premier's office at that time. And he approves a 50 million rand payment to SA Express Airways. This is for flights to Mahikeng and Pilanesberg. It goes to companies that don't have the requisite accreditation, qualification, etc., etc. But as the accounting officer within the Premier's office, he had the obligation to make sure that there was no unauthorized expenditure, no wasteful expenditure, that there was no unbudgeted expenditure. Now, there is a resuscitation of the Mahikeng and Pilanesberg airports noted in a provincial planning document somewhere in October 2014. But he puts it in his documents that this all comes from the Premier's State of the Province address, which was earlier in June. So there's a chronological mismatch here in how the province came up with this idea, and ultimately why 50 million rand would go to SA Express when there wasn't a single open tender process, a request for proposals. There was no budget for this, for resuscitating flights. So in August 2014, 6 airlines are called by the province to say, come and present to us at Sun City. But those airlines arrive. They have no idea why they're there. They present, but they have no idea whether it's for runways, for flights between Mahikeng and Cape Town, or OR Tambo. So there's no procurement process, which is a fundamental flaw in the entire process.
And pardon me if I'm failing to understand, why would the government be paying an airline to fly to a particular area other than creating a conducive environment to say we want to use Pilanesberg, that airport there, and use Mahikeng to stimulate travel by air, and therefore we're making it possible for you to fly here? Why pay SA Express?
So there are certain contracts, say, for baggage handling or for catering, and that's where strange and dubious companies come into effect. There was a previous witness, I forget her name, there have been so many, who got the baggage handling contract and was paid millions, but she had been in charge of delivering food, a small food delivery business, so knew absolutely nothing about baggage handling, and in essence, her bank accounts were hijacked by higher-ups with government connections who controlled those bank accounts. She was just happy to get something out of the deal. But you can see where this entire thing is going. It was supposed to be about the economic development and upliftment, the beautification and the modernization of Mahikeng and Pilanesberg, but it never got there.
All right, Michael, I'll release you because the State Capture Commission of Inquiry has actually resumed and we are now able to go there live.